I do have you beaten.
I will whoop your ass.
Bro,
I will whoop your
that
ass.
gap right back
All
in that
my
mouth.
All my
I'll have
life,
you looking like a
all my
saber
life, I
gap
will
tooth
whoop
tiger.
your ass.
Oh my God, I'll do you dirty.
Your
Bro,
ass.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
You suck.
Hey,
You lost
if I have so you
lost
know.
Cerrone.
Oh my, here we go.
I
Hey,
don't care.
not the same
You
fighter.
lost Cerrone.
Hey, not the same fighter.
You
Not the
lost
same. Hey, when I
Cerrone.
put a beat on you, what are you
lost
gonna say?
Cerrone.
When I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say?
I watched. I was
Hey,
there.
no, when I put a beat on you. When I'm talking about you, you got no power. You got no power.
And you lost. And
Okay,
you
hey,
still
say
scared
less.
him to this day.
No, you, bro, I'm gonna knock that gap right back in your mouth. I'm gonna knock that gap into your mouth again. Hey, you fix the teeth. You fix the teeth, but I'm gonna knock that right back in.
It's your
I'm gonna put
joint.
it bam, bam.
It's Shakur's time right now.
let's
Let's
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, it's like back in the days, right?
It's the biggest fight right here.
No, I thought you was bigger than this,
Bro, you know I'm not big. Wait, why do you think I was big?
God. Oh, man. Wait, good luck.
Shakur Stevenson did not waste a second after everything calmed down, as he went straight into a live interview and delivered a direct and serious message aimed at Ryan Garcia.
He's right there, Shakur Stevenson. Let's go. Let's run that. Hey, I want to be a great champion, and I'm not scared of. I fought Devin Haney. I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. I'll fight anybody. Let's go.
You know, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan. Shakur Stevenson was on our DAZN broadcast earlier, said he's levels above you right now. What do you think of that?
The thing is, like, you gotta have some type of punching power to get me off you, because it'll be a different style, and I'm not gonna hit him light. Every time I get, I'm putting it on him, you know? I want that fight. Shakur, let's get it. I see you, hey, I like the hat. You look fly, but I want that work. Let's get it.
He basically said it in a steady voice with sharp focus that if Ryan truly wants that fight next, he will not only be outclassed in the ring, but he will end up getting knocked out in a harsh and decisive way.
I think he wiped the floor with him. You know, I don't think Ryan gonna be able to hit Shakur like Barrios. Barrios was right there to be hit. Barrios was too slow. Barrios didn't have no game plan. He followed them the whole fight. And Shakur is not going to be that fighter to be hit on.
What made it even more intense was the way he spoke like someone who had already seen how it would end. No drama, no shouting, just calm, controlled confidence. And that quiet, deadly focus honestly feels more powerful than any loud trash talk.
What do we expect from a fighter?
We're very fast. You're going to see people that are quick, back and forth. And Shakur knows that he can't get lazy with me at all. That's why, like, he was looking at me right now and goes, ooh, you're not even big. I'm like, bro, you were scared if I was big? That's crazy. Like, that's what you were scared of? All right. So I got a little glimpse on what he was kind of worried about. But size don't win fights at all. You seen that today. Mario was bigger than me. But I was...
Meanwhile, right after his win over Mario Barrios, Ryan did not celebrate like someone fully satisfied. He took the mic while the adrenaline was still pumping and quickly called out Shakur, saying he wants to take away that so-called savant reputation and show that speed overcomes slick skills when the pressure is highest.
How does it end? Decision, knockout?
We hit him with a body shot, he's done.
Why the body
He can't take his body shot. We already know. Really? Yeah, and he doesn't have a better jab than my son. My son has an awesome jab. We beat him in the amateurs, okay, with the jab. When Ryan was young, Ryan was only 16 years old. But he qualified 17, 18 with Shakur. Shakur was on that level. So if you're within 2 years, they're gonna put you in that category. Okay, and I said, Ryan, we didn't know Shakur, they didn't know us. But I said, you know what, Ryan, let's work on that jab. Ryan was doing that beautiful jab. I said, okay, that's what we're gonna work on. Let's start off.
That difference feels almost cinematic. Shakur talking with calm precision, like someone calmly predicting the damage ahead, while Ryan sounds like a storm charging forward, demanding the toughest challenge he can get.
But no, all those, you know, whatever. You know, Shakur, somebody that I fought in the amateurs, and we went at it, you know, and I felt like I beat him. But, you know, the politics in the USA boxing at that time were a little different. And I still got a chip on my shoulder. I've been wanting that rematch for a minute. Hopefully we get it. And, you know, when my hand heals, I'll be looking for that opportunity.
One is guaranteeing sharp and calculated punishment, while the other is promising pure explosive chaos. And if that showdown actually happens, it will be more than just another fight. It will be a clash of styles filled with pride, talent, and intense psychological pressure from both sides.
Oscar, apologies if George been asked about these two opponents, but what do you a fight with Shakur Stevenson looks like? They talked about fighting each other next. What do you think that fight would look like?
I love the fight. I mean, look, there's so many options there for Ryan now. Everybody wants to fight him. Everybody wants to dethrone the pretty boy, you know. And now that he has a world title, everybody's after him. So yeah, I think it's a matter of just regrouping, let Ryan rest, and he'll make his decision.
That looming Shakur warning about future smoke quickly fades the moment Henry Garcia steps into the spotlight, because this was not a calm victory speech at all. This was years of frustration, criticism, doubt, and redemption pouring out at once through one microphone. And the second Henry shuts down the VA rumor talk and calls those stories made up, it is clear he has switched into full protective mode, not just standing up for a fighter, but fighting for his son's reputation in real time.
Been doing testing his entire career. He's fought for interim titles. When he fought Tank Davis, we were doing VADA testing and it wasn't for a title. He's been testing his entire career. Every single time we set up a fight, we sign a contract, there's VADA testing. There's no such thing as dropping out of VADA testing. So all those stories are just fabricated, people trying to hate on Ryan, and they're just excuses for Haney to feel good about himself. You know, Haney wants to have an excuse as to why he got beat up, and that's it. So
then suddenly the tension rises as he fires back at critics like Chris Algieri and others, and you can clearly hear the emotion in every word. This is not polished public relations talk or safe media answers. It is raw parental pride mixed with competitive redemption. And when he says, "They do not know my son, I know my son," that moment lands harder than any technical breakdown, because that is about identity, not just boxing.
Just real quick, I want to go back to the haters, because I gotta let this off my chest, because I won't be able to sleep. But Chris Algieri, you're a piece of okay? I'm sorry, you and your corny ass partner, okay? Not believing in my son. Sergio Mora, I ran into him and he said, "No, your son made me a believer, so I'm not gonna go too hard on him." Okay? Robert Garcia, weird, man. Oh, my son can't go over 6 rounds. Sorry, dude. They don't know my son. I know my son. Okay? And every father should know their son.
Meanwhile, Ryan's energy at the same moment is completely different, calmer, reflective, thanking the team, talking about diet, discipline, conditioning, and how he used to just swing without thinking, which low-key confirms the whole new version of Ryan narrative they have been promoting all camp. One side is emotional fireworks, the other side is structured gratitude. That contrast is fascinating. Henry is taking on the critics verbally, while Ryan is giving credit to the system that rebuilt him physically and mentally.
Say something real quick. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions. I know people like to put us together as beef. I guess it sells, but you know, I don't hold grudges, and I always want to keep positivity, and I just want to say thank you for all that you've done in my career.
Also, the quiet nod to Golden Boy Promotions from Ryan right after the tense moments shows strategic maturity shining through the chaos. And when a fighter is celebrating growth and preparation instead of just the win, while the father is releasing years of defensive passion, it creates a layered post-fight scene where victory feels less like an ending and more like a personal message to everyone who doubted the journey.
All right, let's go. Well, the answer to your question is, yeah, I know he did it for me, but I told him before, we had dinner last night, and I said, "You know what, Ryan?" I said, "I appreciate that." I said, "But you know what? You've already won for me."
That proud, emotionally charged father energy from Henry suddenly changes the moment Joe Goossen starts speaking, because the tone shifts from protective passion to calm, precise honesty. And that contrast is really interesting to watch live. Goossen starts with light humor about gummies to set a relaxed mood. But when he says that is exactly how Ryan fights, it immediately reads as veteran acceptance, not shock or excuses.
What's your question?
What were your thoughts on Ryan's performance?
Look, that's exactly how Ryan fights. That's exactly how I knew he was going to fight. We tried to prepare for it as best we could. I think, you know, aside from that knockdown in the first round and a few other shots Ryan landed, we blocked a lot of his shots. Ryan obviously outscored us.
Just a trainer acknowledging the stylistic reality they faced. Then he admits they prepared for the speed, the footwork, and the tricky moves, and still points out that Ryan outscored them. And that line lands harder than any dramatic headline, because it is calm truth, not emotional spin. He even breaks down the inside tying up and foot movement like a coach running the chessboard in his head. And it makes you think, yeah, that is a technical read disguised as politeness.
No, he's tricky. He's great on his feet. He'll tie you up on the inside because that's not his favorite place to be. And then he'll move around and walk you into some shots, and if you stall out on him, he'll come and get you. You know, he's smart. He's smart, and he's fast, and he's fleet of foot. So he's got a lot going for him. He's champ of the world.
But the subtle jab comes when he mentions the first round knockdown and a few other key shots, because that wording quietly shows momentum moments mattered more than sheer punch count. Then he moves to Barrios' size and weight drain at 147. And you can hear the careful balance, not making excuses, but pointing out physical reality, like a seasoned strategist protecting his fighter's dignity. The coldest moment is when he says, "You don't really train Ryan, you collaborate with him." That is a layered statement, meaning Ryan is instinct-driven, self-styled, and unpredictable even to elite trainers. And when Goossen admits he was needling Ryan mid-fight just to get a reaction, that is veteran mind game's subtle psychological strategy, almost playful but calculated. Yet he still gives Ryan full credit, calls him champ, praises his speed and ring IQ, while showing genuine respect for Barrios' toughness and effort. No bitterness, no chaos, just composed realism after a high-stakes fight, one camp emotional vindication, the other analytical acceptance, and honestly, that kind of brutally calm honesty from a veteran trainer shows more about how dominant the performance was than any loud post-fight rant ever could.
Look, Ryan, I've known Ryan for many years, and I gotta tell you, Mario Barrios is a fine young man. I love the kid. He's really a wonderful, classy human being, Mario Barrios. And so is Ryan. We're all friends. It's a small community, the boxing community. So I'm happy for Ryan, and I'm sad for Mario Barrios. You know, he put a lot of work. Jonathan and I trained Mario, and we put in close to 3 months of a training camp with him, and it was serious, hard work. We were doing round after round of training. Now, I will tell you, and I don't make excuses for anybody, Mario, you saw how much bigger he is than Ryan. He had to make 147 pounds. I think it's going to be the last time he ever did.
That calm, almost professor-level honesty from Goossen about Ryan doing what he wants suddenly shifts into a completely different cinematic energy when Wade jumps in screaming domination. And it hits me that the analytical respect from the losing corner and this explosive breakdown are really describing the same fight from two emotional angles colliding at once. Wade says Ryan started the fight like the world was watching, and it makes sense because the way he stormed the center of the ring was not just aggression, it was psychological control. He showed up early and never let up. Then he keeps highlighting the jab to right hand sequence, and that backs up the narrative shift. This was not the old left hook Ryan, this was upgraded calculated violence with setup layers. And when Wade points out that first right hand hurting Barrios immediately, that is the real turning point. Momentum did not slowly build, it detonated. He also notes Barrios' toughness, but still calls it a wash, which matches Goossen's earlier tone of acceptance without making excuses.
Turns out, Mario Barrios, one tough SOB. He was not going to get knocked out in the first round, and come to find out he wasn't going to get knocked out at all, but that was a tone setter for the fight. And it was like, from that moment on, Ryan had almost zero issue with Barrios, and Barrios had no answers for anything Ryan was doing. And again, I told you, go back and watch my video. Yes, the left hook was prevalent and it landed in this fight, and Ryan was devastating with it, but it would be the right hand. It would be the hand that everyone forgot that Ryan Garcia had, and one, to be fair, he hadn't shown had been as devastating as his lead hand for a very long time.
But the exciting part is Wade saying boxing needed this Ryan. And that is not just hype, that is industry insight. A violent, dominant, focused Ryan brings star power and unpredictability, all in one, and honestly, that sells stories better than any safe performance ever. Then he shifts to Shakur, watching closely, and suddenly the discussion moves from celebration to danger. Now it's speed and explosiveness versus precise control. Wade questions if this version of Ryan could surprise Shakur again. Bold, risky, and entertaining, especially when he highlights the right-hand evolution and sustained 12-round intensity, quietly breaking down the old mentality issues step by step. Still, the chaotic truth in my head is domination over Barrios proves world-class ability. But Shakur is a different challenge, not a durability test, a thinking test. And if this newly disciplined, violent Ryan with a working jab and right hand shows up again,
it was shocking to see Barrios dominated like that. Like Barrios has been stopped, right? He's been beat, but there was no pillar to post beating that I've ever seen anyone put on Mario Barrios like Ryan Garcia did tonight. And again, the variety in the shots, upstairs, downstairs, the lead hook. He would frame with the jab, which is something I love when fighters do. He would 1-2-1 and frame with that lead hand. And then when Barrios got past the lead hand, bang, left hook, pivot out, right hand. It was like he had an answer.
Now that matchup stops being fantasy and starts feeling like a real style clash the sport can't ignore. When you step back from all the noise, the Shakur warning, the emotional Henry speeches, the calm Goossen analysis, and Wade's explosive breakdown, the real story isn't just that Ryan won, it's how the entire narrative shifted. In one night, one side spoke with surgeon-like confidence about levels and knockouts, the other answered with performance, discipline, and a version of Ryan that looked sharper, more calculated, and far more dangerous than the chaotic version critics had labeled. You had a father defending legacy, a veteran trainer accepting reality calmly, analysts screaming domination, and a rival quietly circling like a shark studying the tape. That is not just post-fight energy, that is the start of the next mega storyline, because now the conversation has evolved from can Ryan stay focused to can this upgraded, violent, disciplined Ryan solve the toughest technical puzzle in boxing, and that is where it gets cinematic power versus precision, instinct versus control, chaos versus calculation. If this path continues, the Barrios fight won't be remembered as the peak, it will be remembered as the spark for a much bigger showdown waiting at the elite level. Now the real question is simple but dangerous: does Ryan's explosive growth break Shakur's surgical defense? Or does Shakur's IQ completely shut down that momentum drop? Your take in the comments, let's really talk about it, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ring Decoded.